He's hardly been out of the news in recent weeks and months, and certainly so the last few days due to his resignation. I'm talking about Boris Johnson, and so many people have so much to say about the situation. I was watching a television program yesterday. It was a political one, and there were a number of guests on the program. And when they came to one of them, he was an ex-Labour MP, or he is an ex-Labour MP. And the presenter said to him, "You must be glad that someone from the opposition is now no longer Prime Minister." And he said, and I'm paraphrasing all of this, "I'm happier that a liar has been removed." And you could see that he really meant that. He was very happy. You could see from the look on his face that a liar had been removed. I follow politics. I have done for many, many years as a student of politics, as opposed to being a political animal. And as soon as I saw the person, his face appeared on the list of people that were on the panel, I thought to myself, I wonder what he's going to say. And when he said those words, I was quite surprised, really, because do you remember the MP's expenses scandal from a few years ago? It was the Daily Telegraph who broke the news that many MPs were claiming for things that they shouldn't be. Now, a lot of them were grey areas and they weren't prosecuted, but they did have to pay money back. But some of them, the out and out liars, they were prosecuted and went to prison in a number of cases. And if I remember correctly, they were all Labour MPs that went to prison. And this particular man on the panel was one of those that went to prison. 5-figure sum that he was claiming for that he shouldn't have been. And when he was going on about Boris Johnson, I was thinking at the time that he went to Majesty's Prison, HMP, Belmarsh, Brixton, and he was released with a tag. I remember it well. And I was thinking of the passage in the Bible in John chapter 8. It's a well-known passage, and it's such a powerful message as well that comes through. The Pharisees, the religious leaders of the day, were always looking to trick Jesus. And they brought a woman to him that had committed adultery. And they said to Jesus, the woman is guilty of adultery. The law of Moses, God's law, which Jesus himself said, I haven't come to do away with, but I've come to fulfill. The law states that she should be stoned. And then they put the ball in Jesus's court. The Bible tells us that he was doodling on the ground in the dust. And after a while he looked up and he said, "Let he who is without sin cast the first stone." And he tells us that one by one they all drifted away because the words that he spoke were powerful ones. They convicted the people that were part of that group, and one by one they disappeared. And then there was just the lady left, and Jesus said to her, "They don't condemn you, neither do I, but go and sin no more." And back to the present day, I think it's so important in all of our lives, myself included, to realize that we're far from perfect, that none of us can take the moral high ground. I think it's okay to have a sense of right and wrong in your own life. In fact, I think it's very important to do that. It's very important to have moral values, things that you don't agree with, you speak out against. Things that you do agree with, that you promote, that's okay. But when you actually call out an individual for something like being a liar, when you actually went to prison yourself for being a liar, I think that that is part of the message that comes through from John chapter 8. It's so important that we don't become judgmental. We're all guilty of it, aren't we? It's so easy to slip into that particular frame of mind whereby we accuse people, maybe not to their faces, but we talk about them and we accuse them of certain things. Maybe they're guilty of certain things, but then we stop, or we forget to stop and think, actually, we've been as bad, if not worse, than those people over the years. I love that verse. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone.